Hi, I'm going to talk a little bit about prayer, only a little bit, as part of the Father's home in the Shelagh family. So, some background. The network's name, Shelagh, was chosen by the leaders because of this little bird's nature. It reminded them of what they'd learned about prayer. In the unique features of the Shelagh, they'd identified 9 features that provided clear pictures of what God was calling them to do as a community in prayer. They called these features Shelagh prayer distinctives. I will be sharing all of them over the next few months. The prayer distinctives are there to help support us, to bless and encourage our local church and our community. I'm going to start, as you would expect, with prayer distinctive 1, and that is leader of the dawn chorus is on the front foot and leads the way in prayer. This little bird begins to sing before the first rays of light. It sings in the dark to welcome the new day, and it encourages all the other birds to join in. Join in with the day's first hymn of praise. It's fantastic. It doesn't wait for another bird to start. It starts it itself. The skylark had been watching, and at some point it knows that the day is just about to break, and it begins its song before it even sees that light. It's proactive. It's on the front foot. This ability sets it apart as one of nature's watchmen. There are watchmen in the Old Testament. They were posted on the walls of the city to look out for messengers or warn of danger. In 2 Samuel 18, verses 24 to 27, King David set watchmen on the walls to look out for messengers bringing news of a critical battle. They were tasked to watch, to be the first to see the messengers and to alert the king. There was always more than one watchman, so that day or night the city was being watched over. The same word for watchman was used in Proverbs, basically Proverbs 31 verse 27. Here it's used to describe the way a woman would look after and look over her family. We are to be awake and alert to what's happening in our own families, in our own community, in our nation. To listen and watch, to come to God with all that we've seen and felt, and ask God to show us how to pray. It's not just the Old Testament, but also in the New Testament where we are asked to watch. In 1 Corinthians 16:13, we're told, watch, stand fast, in faith, be brave, be strong. Jesus in Gethsemane asks his disciples to watch and pray so that you won't fall into temptation. The Greek word used here for watch means to awaken as from sleep, or from sitting or lying, from disease or obscurity, ruins or non-existence, to awake, lift up, rise up, stand, take up. The emphasis that watching is not a passive position, but proactive and alert, and to be honest, quite energetic. How are we to be proactive and watch in prayer? Listen and be awake to our situations. Ask God to show us what's going on in our families, our ministries, the district, our nation. A window into the spiritual realms so we can lead and pray effectively. So that we're not caught off guard, only being able to react to situations. We see an example of this in Moses in Exodus 14. Because Moses was a watchman and spent time in God's presence, God gives him a heads up to what is going to happen. God told him he would harden Pharaoh's heart, and he told him, I've planned this in order to display my glory. Moses was forewarned, so he could tell the people, don't be afraid, just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. The Egyptians you see today will never be seen again. The Lord himself will fight for you. Just stay calm. God had planned a miracle to show his glory, and Moses was able to be proactive and on the front foot rather than react to the situation in which he found himself. Pray a hedge of protection around leaders, ministries, people, nations, as God lays specific areas on your heart. Declare the good news, prophesying God's solution to situations. Isaiah 52, 7-8. How beautiful on the mountain are the feet of the messengers who bring good news, the good news of peace and salvation, the news that the God of Israel reigns. The watchmen shout and sing with joy before their very eyes to see the Lord returning to Jerusalem, and the watchmen saw him first. Remind God of his promises. Isaiah 62, 6-7. I've posted watchmen on your walls, Jerusalem. Day and night they keep at it, praying, calling out, reminding God to remember. They are to give him no peace until he does what he said, makes Jerusalem famous as a city of praise. As we sit with God, asking him to show us what is happening in our area, in the material and spiritual realms, we will begin to see our area and situation more with God's eyes, and he will show us how to pray. God has brought Exodus 14:14 to me over and over again in the last few weeks, in all sorts of different circumstances. It is the need to remember that God is in control and is for us, absolutely for us. We are to be still, or just stand still, calmly, positively, and with trust in him, because he is fighting for us, even and especially when we can't see it.